Supervive, previously Project Loki, have done a 1-week playtest. Now, this isn't anything super unusual, this game does playtests all the time. However, this time there was a tiny little difference. We were allowed to stream the game, something I, and I'm sure many others, were incredibly happy about. Yes! Yes! Finally! Holy I've been wanting to do this for fucking ages! Oh my god! And of course, now that I'm allowed to properly talk about this game, I had to make a video on it. Originally, I wanted to make a video on day 1 of the playtest, but I realized there's going to be plenty of people doing that already, so I'm going to mix it up a bit. I'm going to play the game for every day of the playtest, and after each day I'm going to record my thoughts, my feelings, and anything else I want to say about the game. And then hopefully by the end of it all, we'll have a good video. I don't know, I haven't done this before. But anyway, enough of me yapping. Like, subscribe, and let's get into more of me yapping, but this time about the game. Thursday, day 1. Today was a lot of me just getting back into the game, refamiliarizing myself with the movement, the map, and what each character does. Movement in the game's a lot smoother than I remember actually, specifically the transition between using abilities into gliding. Also, damage in the game is really high. Shrike and Kingpin being able to two-shot any character in the game is crazy, but Shiv's consistent damage and really high mobility is just actually insane. The character I played the most was Joel. They're super fun. They're really high mobility, they've got pretty good damage. They kind of remind me of the Red Mage from FF14, and I don't really have that much to say about them yet, to be honest. Friday, day 2. A lot of today was me trying out new characters, specifically Bishop and Brawl, and neither of them really seemed that good. They were both fun to play, and I think their movement was definitely good, although I do think Bishop can maybe launch herself a little bit further with a bomb, but I just felt like I wasn't really able to get much value with the characters. Now, for Bishop, I started doing a lot better once I stopped focusing so much on landing my E, but for Brawl, I really just couldn't make the character work. I also noticed, neither could anyone else. So, from now on, we're going to start tracking each day, did we get a useful Brawl in any of our games? Today, no. As far as I can tell, this is because any character who needs to get in close to do damage just gets blown up before they can get anywhere near the enemy. Saturday, day 3. The devs unlocked rank for the game, which made me focus a lot more on how many kills I got, and also the placement of my team in each game. It made me realize you really don't run into enemy teams that much in this game. Unless you drop right next to them, it felt like you could go most of the game without ever seeing enemy players. But unfortunately, that's just how battle royales are. You can't really do much about it. Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a game that eventually finds a solution. Maybe it'll be this one. I have low hopes. Found out that Void has possibly the most broken ult in the game, as my whole team got wiped out by a combo of him and Celeste. But today was fairly uneventful and didn't come with any crazy revelations. There was not a useful Brawl. Sunday, day 4. Some part of the game just clicked for me today because I was doing way better than previously. I don't know what happened, but my positioning, my damage, something was better. I even solo wiped a squad at one point. And it wasn't just Joel. I popped off on Bishop, even though it was cheesy as shit. And I even played Shrike a bit. It was a bit harder than I thought to land shots, but I still am pretty unsure if the damage should be that high. And I also think the character is going to be genuinely just awful for new players. They are going to hate her existence. I also realized just how big of a deal biome souls were in the game. Like, these things have some genuinely game-winning abilities, so you should probably get them. It'll also be good for running into enemy teams if you're one of those players who, you know, doesn't enjoy camping for an entire game. We did not get a useful Brawl. Monday, day 5. I tried Shrike even more and found out that no, the damage is not justified. That character is genuinely just broken. Especially since you're able to mark multiple members of the enemy team at once and keep multiple of them out of the fight for fear of you just deleting their health bar if they go anywhere near you. Like, goddamn, the devs should just lower her damage and then make it so that her shots travel faster and easier to hit. That would be better than this. This is ridiculous. I also noticed that healing in the game is really quite high, and I'm starting to worry that maybe all of the numbers in the game are a bit too big. We also had our first useful Brawl and still got 7th. Tuesday, day 6. After seeing Void do a lot of work in some of my previous games, I actually tried him out and oh god. Void is not a difficult character to play, and on his own he doesn't do that much. But playing him makes it clear that if you ever want to solo queue this game, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, because if the enemy team is even slightly coordinated or has even a little bit of communication, Void probably becomes maybe not the strongest, but definitely one of the strongest characters in the game. Who knows, maybe this will lead players to politely and effectively communicate with their teammates. Oh god, this game's gonna be toxic as We did not get a useful brawl. Wednesday, day 7. Today I was struggling, dude. After not being able to do much in team fights, and honestly, not having any clue what I should have done, I decided to go into arenas to practice exclusively team fighting for a bit. And honestly, I had forgotten how much I like those sorts of game modes, because it is so nice just getting to fight immediately and not have to run around for like 5 to 10 minutes before you actually get to do anything in a game. It also really hammered home a problem which I had already been having with the game, which is I just feel like the numbers for everything are way too high. Damage, CC, healing, it just feels like there's way too much of all of it. If you get hit by one CC ability, you are dead. If the healer uses one ability, the enemy is fully healed. It feels really brutal. I think what they've done is they've tried to design the game with very similar principles to an FPS and very similar balancing, without accounting for the fact that it is way easier to hit your shots in a MOBA. And I don't know, maybe at higher levels this feels a bit better, but especially like new players and casual players are probably not gonna like this that much. We did not get a useful brawl. Thursday again, day 8. For the last day of the playtest, Theorycraft added in Gunner and Stalker. Gunner looked boring, so I didn't play him. Stalker is good for assassinating, and nothing else. I actually thought the playtest ended on Friday, so I thought I had another day, and the plan originally was to do like a big arenas training arc, and then on Friday I sort of show off everything I've learned, a big satisfying conclusion. Instead, I just hopped into squads and enjoyed the last day of the playtest. So, at the end of it all, what do I think about Supervive? The game's good. It plays really well, the characters are varied, and after a full week of playing, it hasn't got repetitive or boring, and I'm still enjoying it. My biggest issue with the game, and I don't even know if it's really an issue, let's call it like a point of contention, is that damage, CC, and healing numbers all feel really high. And for new and casual players, this is going to suck, because they're going to keep dying to things that they either didn't know about, or just couldn't dodge in time. Now at higher levels of play, this won't be as much of an issue because people will know all the abilities in the game and will either be able to dodge or just play around them. But what I'm wondering is, does everything being this high actually make the game better at high levels? Is it actually fun to have to play super carefully because these high numbers just don't leave much margin for error? I don't know. I don't know if it's more fun. And I can't say that they should just make everything do less damage, because I honestly have no idea if it would make the game better. And unfortunately, until the next playtest, I won't be able to play more and find out. So what I need is other people's experiences. So let me know. Tell me about how you feel about the game. Tell me about your experience with the playtest. Tell me if you think I'm completely wrong about the game's balancing. And then, once the next playtest opens up, we can see if the devs actually agreed with us. And of course, I'll be there to make a video on it. Or at least, I will if this video gets enough views. Okay, and that's the end of the video. If you made it all the way to the end, you probably enjoyed it, so like, subscribe. I think there's a bell that does something. Almost all of the game footage here was from my Twitch, so come check me out there. But for now, that's all folks. Tune in next week.